Like
Close
about
about close to a month, almost a month.
almost a
Just about.
month now. So yeah, so Kenny started working with me about a month now, and Kenny was already a successful entrepreneur before we started working together, but he just needed that little push to help him get to the next level. So what I got him here, I just want him to tell you guys his story, how he started, so you guys can see like how this stuff works. You know what I mean? So Kenny, can you tell them your story real quick? Like, how did this all start? Like, how did you start being an entrepreneur?
Well, Boniface, I mean, honestly, I've been an entrepreneur my entire life. So back when I was in high school and even middle school, like I used to cut grass and wash cars like that. I just always had that mentality, of wanting to work for myself. And ever since I've been a little kid, I always visualized myself walking into like a large building that I own, being greeted by a staff, and not just only being the successful person, but making a huge impact. So before, when I was in school, I never got a job. I would always had the nice Jordans. Always had the back in when I was in school, Jordans are still big now, but back when I was in school, it was the authentic jerseys. It was the Jabos. It was the fitted caps. It was all those baggy clothes. So I always financed that on my own because, back then I was doing it. I had a little system in place where I would have like 5 to 10 yards every 2 weeks. So I always know I was going to have money. So I've always been a systems person. I've always been a processing person. I've always been, if I saw an opportunity, go after it. And then in school, in college, I had to stop cutting grass because, I had to go off to college. And then I started learning more about just personal finance, entrepreneurship. And my parents, though they were awesome parents, great working people, they just never really knew about how money worked. They never knew about how it all made sense and how you can use it to build wealth. Though they were really hardworking people, and they're still wealthy, in terms of their spirituality. They're wealthy in terms of, I mean, they're well off in terms of where they are compared to most Americans. They just didn't have that mentality. So when I went to college, even before I went to college, actually, I went to, it was like that transition between leaving high school and going to college that summer. I remember I didn't really know what Amway was at the time, but I
Mm-hmm.
went to an Amway meeting, and I remember looking at all the downlines and all the bubbles, and though I knew I didn't want to be in Amway, I understood, or I started to get, because I started breaking down the McDonald's franchise and business systems. And I said what I said, when I got to college, I knew I had a different perspective about entrepreneurship, because before I'd always been working for money, and hustling. And then now going into college, even though I never joined Amway, I started learning about residual income and leveraging your time. So when I went to this career development conference at A&T, my sophomore year in college, I got a refund check. Like I said, I was blowing. I didn't come for money. So most people don't realize when you get a refund check, it's a refund check, but you got to pay that money back. So I went to this career development conference at it was a weekend, and they were talking about all these different things, but there was this one session on entrepreneurship and money. I went to it, learned so much, asked a guy if I could intern with them, started interning with them. The company ended up being Primerica, ended up getting my insurance license. And when I graduated from A&T, I had become an insurance broker, and I had joined I stopped doing Primerica, but I became an insurance broker because I had my insurance license. So I got with all these different insurance companies, and then I got with Legal Shield too. And while I was in school, I literally was selling Legal Shield and life insurance. And when I graduated, and I got friends. Like legit, we would on Saturdays and Sundays, like we would legit, I would go over to UNCG, and my downline would schedule appointments for me, and I would just show up, and I would just hit them in the head with prepaid legal, prepaid legal, prepaid legal, prepaid legal. And I would make like 2-3 grand a month in college. You know what I mean? It's not a lot of money now, but back then I'm like, man, that's pretty good money.
Mm-hmm.
So when I graduated, I didn't have to get a job, and then I learned back in 2008, 2009, because I told you I got started in insurance, and with Primerica, only people I knew was college students. So it was then when I started my quest of learning and understanding marketing and understanding like the internet. And that was way, way new back then when, Facebook was out, everything was out, but it was still so new. And I remember joining this one company, as I'm going through my education, because when I started seeing how people were making money in Legal Shield and Primerica and insurance, I always noticed that they had a lead system, right? And I realized that I didn't know what I didn't know. So it was at that point I started investing in my education. So I remember I bought different books about leads, different books about marketing. I remember joining this one system called My Lead System Pro. I don't even know if they're still around, but they were teaching me about the whole funded proposal concept and the whole concept about leads and opt-in pages and all this stuff. And that's kind of like how I got my initial education. And I can fast forward here. I just kept investing in my education. Like, I just didn't stop. And when I graduated from A&T, I didn't have to get a job. I ended up wanting to truly become a financial planner, so I aligned myself with a firm in Charlotte, North Carolina at the time, called HF Financial, where you were allowed to be in business for yourself and not by yourself. Then I started learning the whole personal finance side, so not just insurance and sales, because all of it was sales and marketing, but I really started learning about investments and cash flow and retirement and all these different aspects. I actually was going to work with Wells Fargo, did work with Wells Fargo, left them, but learned a lot about just retirement plans. So I learned all this personal finance stuff, and then I just, one thing led to another. I'll condense it. One thing led to another, to where I realized, well, I was like, hey, look, in order for me to truly be able to grow this to a huge company, I can't be the only one doing the work, right? And then I realized on top of that there's three types of customers along my way. And I realized this like 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, 3 years ago, really. You have do-it-yourselfers, you have collaborators, and you have delegators. And at the time, I wanted to do delegator financial planning type work, but all I knew was do-it-yourselfers. Right? I didn't know a lot of people who had the money. Then I said, hey, look, why don't I just monetize this? What if I created a system for do-it-yourselfers, and once I help the do-it-yourselfer, graduate them to a collaborator, and then as an expert, as I'm speaking on an expert, I'll naturally attract delegators. And that's exactly what I do now. And, I know that's kind of like a long story. It's very,
no worries. That's good. That's good to know. You know what I mean? That's really good to know. So basically, the reason why I want you on this interview here is basically I want you to tell them you're successful working with me. You Absolutely. Know what I mean? Like, I want you to explain what made you, because you're in the credit niche, right?
Yeah, I'm in the financial education niche. My pain pill happens to be credit.
So basically the way how you get your clients in is by selling them the credit, but you basically help people with financial planning.
Yeah, well, financial education. So I have two things. So let's just say, what I've discovered is you want to be able to meet people with a pain, and then once you get them the pain, you can sell them the vitamins. So the pain I generally attract a lot of my customers with is credit. And then once I help them with the credit, I educate them on finances. And then I say, hey, look, if you need to invest your money, we got this financial planning firm too. But when I met you, Boniface, the reason why I even wanted to meet you is because, like I said, I saw your ads. I saw your ads and I saw your Instagram profile before you got huge. You had like 10,000 followers. Like, who's this guy? It said net worth $200. Then it said net worth $1.9 million. It's like, who does this guy think he is? Well, he looks like he knows what he's talking about if he did that short period of time. So, I wanted to invest with you because, we had conversations. You hit me up. We talked about different things. I spoke with your staff. And then I had just reached a peak of my understanding with Facebook ads. But then also, I really believe when I invested that $10,000, it was just giving more belief in myself. Well, I've never been afraid to invest, but then just changing my perspective about things, and releasing my limiting belief to where now, I did 100 grand, 103 grand. And my goal, I didn't know how I was going to do it. My goal was to do 6 figures the month of my birthday. Today's October 1st. My birthday was yesterday, September 30th. And on September 29th, I sent you a screenshot. I hit 100 grand. Matter of fact, I think I did a 101. Right? So just working with you and you breaking down Facebook ads, paid advertising, I already kind of knew it, but just break at a deeper level really helped me to release limiting beliefs, but also know that there's another way that you can scale using ads. And it's always not about the front end. It's about the front end, and then also how can you take care of the back end too. So, I mean, I know you're asking me where I was, but guys, if you're at a place where you're stagnant in your business and you know you want to take it to the next level, don't be afraid to invest, right? Make sure you invest and invest with someone who's already proven and documented their success, right? High willingness to learn, right?
So I was gonna ask you that too. So it wasn't just about all the money, because I showed you how to make a lot of money, but also I want to like the mindset, like you being around me, like what have you, like, you got a lot of stuff around me, like what have you seen? Like it's a shift, right? You see, like the way how normal people act, that's not the way how I act, right? It's a total different breed.
It's interesting because like most people, like I don't really like 2 years ago I started this journey of 48 months of focus, and I changed my phone number. I stopped talking to a lot of people, and I really just shifted a lot of my relationships. And I really kind of have been on a quest, so to speak, to just being the best person I can be. This marks month 25 of my 48 months of focus. But I bring that up about what you just said. It's not a lot of people who think like this. So, when you get around people who are more successful or have done things better than you have, and you get around them, they give you a different perspective about where you currently are and what you can do differently. So I think, on top of just learning about making the money, just the little small tidbits that you share with, different ebooks and different courses and, different ways of thinking, even the simple fact that I didn't realize that when you spent $5,000 in a day on ads, that Facebook would cap you out. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So just helping me understand that and guiding me through that and helping me understand, hey, look, you can actually set up invoicing with Facebook, but most people don't know that you can do this.
Have they got back to you on that?
Huh?
Have they got back to you on that?
Yeah. So I filled out the application today. They were out of town. The guy I was working with was out of town, but I'm pretty sure my application's gonna get approved.
Bro, once you get that set up, you're gonna be hitting 200,000 a month.
Probably yes.
No. Like, bro, like when I got that set up, it was a done deal, because now Facebook don't charge you until 2 months later.
Right. So guys, listen to this. Like, I did not know that existed. Right. I didn't know. So it was more so, okay, Boniface told me about the strategies. He told me about how to scale deeper. He showed me how to use different types of ad variations and just different things that you can do, right? And it's still so much more. Like even simple things about how to get, when you're ready, how to get the blue check on your Facebook profile, right? How to get featured on Inc. or Huffington Post or CNN. Like all things that I just haven't implemented yet, or where to go to get specific types of courses, where to invest here, what types of cameras to get. Like just so many little intangible things that was different than just the actual training. And then in addition to that was actually interesting, like when I was telling you about the frequencies and the different frequencies that I listen to, and he's like, well, Kenny, all I listen to is classical music, right? All I listen to when I'm working is classical music. So I guess what I'm saying is that on this quest, it was very refreshing to meet you and see where you were, and then you give me specific, tangible things that I can implement today, right now, in my situation, in my business. But then also give me some other tidbits on personal development that you've done, right? And pour that into me, which was powerful. So
do you know the basics? The basics I was teaching you. What's the basics?
Are you gonna put me on the spot?
Put you on the spot. Who's the base? What's the basics?
Number one, who are you listening to, right? Who are you listening to? And is that person where you want to be, right? Number two, right? What's your teachability index, right? What is that? So do you have a high willingness to learn, right? And then high willingness to accept change. Like that one is huge, right? Even before I met you, I was talking to Dennis, and Dennis kind of grilled me on that. He was like, well, Kenny, if you think you know everything, then there's nothing I can teach you.
So right? Dennis is one of my staff. He is one of my callers for people who schedule calls with me. So that's who he was talking to. Basically, what Dennis was explaining to him, like Kenny is saying, it's not all about the money, because I have made over $1 million in 1 month. But at the end of the day, it's about knowing the mindset to do all of that stuff, because it's not all about the money. If you don't have the right mindset, you can't do it, because it's about finding somebody who you can really listen to. Like Kenny was in a situation that he was at, and he wanted to get to the next level, but his level of understanding wasn't that. He didn't get there. He didn't know what to do. So he
Right.
got around somebody who knew exactly what to do because they have done it. So now he was making $50,000 a month. Now Kenny's making $100,000 a month, and I guarantee Kenny's gonna be making 200, 300,000 a month. No joke, because he has the capability to do it. He has a proven funnel. He has everything set up. Now he just got to stay put and keep working his stuff, and he's gonna get there. But like I was saying, like Kenny was breaking down the 5 basics, is who do you listen to? Guys, you have to listen to somebody who have what you want. If I'm the person that have what you want, listen to me. Because I have done it. I have put in the work. I spent over $500,000 on Facebook ads just to play around. Just to play around. I have spent that. So now you listen to somebody who have done that. What do you think you're going to get out of it?
More value.
Is your teach and also your teachability index. What's your willingness to learn and what's your willingness to accept change? What's your willingness to give up time and money to invest in yourself to acquire the information that you need to know to take yourself to the next level?
Right.
What is your willingness to learn and what is your willingness to accept change? If you're not willing to learn, you're not willing to change, you're never going to be successful. The reason why you're in the situation you're in right now, it's only because you don't have the proper information. You don't have the proper information, but you can gather that proper information. I was never the guy that I am today. The reason why I'm in the situation that I'm in is because I invested in myself into other people. I'm not the source. I'm not somebody who made all this stuff up. You know what I mean? I have gathered information from everybody else.
And can I say something real quick, Boniface? Because Boniface showed me when I met him how he had invested $40,000 to go meet somebody else. And that was one time he invested to meet somebody. Or somebody else he met, I think you've invested $30,000 to meet the billionaire. The guy who spent over $1 billion on Facebook ads. Like, guys, like you hear what he's not just telling me this. He actually has done this himself. Like how much did you say you spent? At least $200-300 grand minimum?
I spent I try to spend about $10,000 a month on education, but altogether I probably spent probably almost 230 grand now on just information. But you have to do that. You have to do that because information change. Just like you're gonna have to learn more things to keep getting your business to the next level. You can't.
That's what I wanted to say too. Like, I'm glad that you brought that up about that because that was a thing Dennis had said. Like, because I've invested in so many courses. I'm like, well, what is this? Another course I got to invest in? And then Dennis was like, nah. Like, if you going back to what you said about the high willingness to learn, and then teachability index. Like, I had to restructure my mindset about, well, I need to humble myself and realize that I have something to learn because had I knew what I needed to do, I'd have the success that you had.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So the 5 basics. Who do you listen to? Your teachability index, your training balance skill. It's 90% of your thinking and 10% of your action. Guys, don't work so hard. Stop going to these jobs. You know what I mean? It's a means to an end. Like, you want to use these jobs to be able to save up some money so you can be able to invest in your company or your business. Get somebody to coach you so you can learn how to operate a proficient business that you can sell or you can be able to live off of.
Right.
And it's the fourth basic is the way you process information, which means like when you're learning information, like I was telling Kenny when he first got here, Kenny paid $10,000 to come see me. I mean, that's not a lot of money, but he invested $10,000. He have never invested that $10,000. To me, it's not a lot of money because I have invested more than that. I'm just saying, like, he invested $10,000 to come see me for 3 days. He didn't even know what was gonna happen.
When I pulled up at the spot, I was like, man, what's about to happen, man? Like what's going on? And Boniface kind of let me know within the first 5 minutes, no refunds. Like, he didn't say, he wasn't trying to say it was no refunds, but he's basically saying, hey, look, you here, and we just get the money, and that's what it is. And I was just open to learning, right? And I'm glad I did. The first day was worth $10,000 after we went through everything.
Yep. The reason why I do that to everybody is because it makes them, because people, this is how people think. They try to find a whole bunch of ways to make stuff to not work.
Right.
You know, it's like they try to research, they try to do all this thing to find out how this stuff can't work. So when I lay the ground rules and say, hey, you're here, that's all that matters. There's no refunds. You're gonna learn this information and you're gonna do it. So now their thinking is, I gotta make it work. The reason why you were so open to learn was because you have already let all your negative energy go.
Right.
You let everything that you were thinking about, it went away. So now when you started working with me, you was just like, wow, because you was just blown away. Because now you wasn't thinking about anything negative. You was thinking about how can I make my money back.
Which I made back I made back in gross revenue. I made the 10K.
You made the 10K the first week you left here.
Yeah.
The first week you left here. You made the 10K the first week.
By Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday of that week, of the following week.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so the fourth way you process information, guys, is unconscious and competent. Unconscious and competent means that you don't know that information exists, which means that you need to understand that there's information out there that you don't know it exists. Now you're watching this interview with me and Kenny on this live. Now you're going to be blown away because you're going to be like, wow, this stuff actually exists and this stuff is actually real. Then you're going to go to the next stage, which is conscious and competent. Conscious and competent means that you know it exists, but you just don't know how to do it, which is fine. We all was at that stage, like I was telling Kenny. When he got here, I was telling Kenny, all this stuff that I'm going to be teaching you, you have never learned this before, but just don't worry. Because you're going to learn it by the time you get out of here. You're going to understand it. You're going to know how it all works, but just don't be blown away. Just stay put and just sit down and learn.
Right.
So then he got to the next stage, which is conscious competent. Conscious competent means that you know how to do it and you know it exists. Then he got to the next stage now, which is he's going to be on. He hasn't got to the unconscious competent level yet because he still needs to put in the work. Once he start doing this stuff so well and he's doing like 300 grand a month, then you're going to be on autopilot. You're going to be at that unconscious competent level because you're going to be doing everything so well that you don't even have to think about it. That's where LeBron James and all these successful people are at because they've done it for so long. But don't worry though, you're going to get there. You just got to keep focusing on the basics, on the basics, on the basics. The reason why I'm so good at advertising is because, like I was telling you, I read over 1,000 books on that subject. I have studied so many courses. You've seen my library, how many programs and stuff that I got. I have studied that stuff intimately. I have literally studied it like nobody else on the planet. So that's how I was able to acquire that information. My girl, when I'm watching this stuff and I watch another course, I go to another course and watch the same thing because I'm always looking for that small nugget. That small nugget that can improve my skill. Because you don't know what you don't know. You know what I mean? There's some stuff that I don't even know. That's why I'm always willing to learn and I'm always willing to accept change. So I'm always looking for information. Like when I'm looking for information, I look at people like, how does this guy thinks? How does this guy thinks?
Tell him about that, Bob.
How does this guy...
Tell him a little bit about that. Tell him a little bit about one of the discoveries that you came up with when I was out there about just some of the things that I was doing with my funnel. With
your funnel?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Go ahead. What do you mean?
You know what I'm saying? Like you were saying, how does this guy think? I was just saying, I was saying, tell him about some of the things that you discovered, like from a different perspective, from even me and other people that you dealt with.
Oh, from you, like, to be honest, like, just with your funnel was converting so well. I could have been like, who cares about Kenny? Kenny's just here and he's paying me. And that's so, you know what I mean? I could have been like, I'm not going to learn nothing from Kenny. You know what I mean? I could have done that. But me as a humble person, as you see, my willingness to learn and my willingness to accept change is always there. It's always there nonstop. So when I started seeing the process that you was doing with your clients, I was like, okay, great. This do actually have a process. So let me see your process. So I checked out your process and stuff like that. And I really liked the way how you were selling your course. But like a lot of people would say, hey, Kenny's a student. I'm not going to learn from him, right? But that's not how I look at stuff. I look at stuff like especially people who pay 10 grand, like everybody who have ever paid me 10 grand to come meet me in person, they always have something going on. So you learn stuff when you start working with people like that because those people are on the next level.
Guys, man, I know this is your interview, buddy, but if people just realize the essence of what you just said and why that is so powerful, right? Arguably, I came to learn from Boniface, which I did, and I still am learning. And he took something that I was doing and made it and tweaked it and learned it and implemented in his business, guys. And arguably he's had way more success than me, but high willingness to learn, right? High willingness to accept change. It doesn't matter where you get it from, who you get it from, how you get it, right? And I think that's like the powerful thing that you just said, man. It's like it's crazy how much like high willingness to learn, high willingness to accept change. You know, it's
Yes.
powerful.
You have to be willing to learn and you have to be willing to accept change. Like you have to give up time and money. Like the first investment I ever made, like I was telling you when you got here, the first investment I ever made in myself was $5,000. You
Right?
know what I mean? At the time, that was a lot of money. That was a
Yeah.
lot of money. That was like that's I didn't even have that money.
How old were you?
I was about like 16. Like 16, it was like 16, 17-year old. I didn't even
16,
have
17, invest in 5 racks.
Yep,
That's
I didn't even have that much money. And the thing about it, I had to borrow that money from people who was around me.
man, that is powerful.
So a lot of people, the reason why it was because I always had mentors through my life too that coached me about stuff. So it was easier for me to invest stuff like that because I was always looking at stuff as an abundant mindset. Like, okay, I can learn something from somebody who's very successful. The thing about people is that they don't really have that. They don't really have people to coach them and tell them, say, hey, invest in yourself and you're going to be successful. Because they're only making decisions based on their reaction, based on what they went through, based on what they're going through now. So they're looking at stuff like, man, if I invest this money, how do I have a guarantee that it's going to come back? So it limits people. And I understand that it limits people for actually investing in themselves. But that's why we only work with the people who invest in themselves, is because those people who invest in themselves, they pay attention. People who don't invest in themselves, they don't pay attention. They
true.
don't. Like there's so much information out there. But like I remember I was talking to this client, one of my client this morning, right? She was telling me how she bought this program, right? And she was like, I bought this program and it was just like they scammed me. Nobody tried to help me or anything like that. I was like, let me ask you a question. Did you buy that program for like $100? She said, yeah. Of course, nobody's gonna help you. Who the hell is gonna help you if you pay for something for $100? Like, you guys have to start thinking for yourself. Like, if you buy something for $100, what do you think you're gonna get out of it? Especially information, you're not really gonna get that much information out of something that you're paying for $100. You want to pay. It's like you buying a purse. If you're a girl and you're buying a purse and you've seen a Louis Vuitton purse versus a purse that's at the dollar store, what would you want to buy? Buy the Louis Vuitton purse because it's going to last you your lifetime. You don't want to buy the purse at the dollar store because it's going to rip and you're going to have to go buy another one. Just get the information from somebody who's doing it at the highest level and become successful. Don't waste your money and your time. Like, you're going to buy something for $100, $200, $300, then you're just going to waste your time. Just pay for somebody who's have the knowledge, have the proven process, and get the information and become successful. That's it. But yeah, I just wanted to get you here on this interview, Kenny, because working with you, I have learned a lot too working with you as well, and you're one of my top students right now. We need to get you. You need to get to about 2 million this year. How much? How much? How much are you? How much are you at for the year?
Give me 1 second. Let's see. I'm at a 500,000.
Let me see.
So
Put in the camera. Put in the camera.
1.5 would be good. It's only showing 3 on this one, but I got another Stripe account I got to pull up.
Mm-hmm. No worries. Just put it on. So put it on the
Give me 1
screen.
second. So this is one of my Stripe accounts. It shows 288 on this one.
So
Right.
today you made 3,000 so far, but nah, go scroll down. They can't really see it. No. Put it back and just put it up more, because they can't. So okay, go on the right, left. So okay, you made 200
In this particular Stripe account.
on this. No, go on the left side. They can't really see that right there. So stay right there. So he made on this Stripe account this year so far. He already made $288,000.
And most of that I just made within the last, because last quarter Let me see. Well, I can't do the quarter on my thing, but I was looking at it. I think last quarter with this Stripe account, it was like I think like 190, 180.
Mm-hmm.
So a good portion of it just came like within like the last 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got another Stripe account. Let me see. No, I don't know if I got it on my phone. Maybe. Yeah, so this other Stripe account is roughly I don't know whether I made that much from that one. This other one is like 53,000. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah, they see 57,000.
Oh, 57, excuse me.
Yeah, it's 50.
57,000.
So this year so far, you made 57,000 on that one, and you made about 200, and you made about almost 300,000 on the last one. So
Yeah. And then I got another one. I got a PayPal account, which I don't even have PayPal pulled up on my phone, but I got like 40 grand in the PayPal account.
mm-hmm.
And then just other things that I've done outside of just online,
Mm-hmm.
about another 100 grand. So I'm close. I'm at about like a half a million so far this year.
Okay,
So I include my investment business and all the other things, which I don't have. Those aren't digital products. Those are like I get paid fees and all
so
that
with
stuff.
your with the digital product, how much have you made? Because most of these people that are going to be watching this stuff is because they want to own their own online business, and they're probably going to come get some coaching with me.
350, like about 350.
So with your digital product right now, you made about 350,000 this year.
Mm-hmm.
So this month you need to crush this month. You need to go for 200 grand this month, so it can get you up. So then you can be able to, because Christmas is going to be crazy.
January's going to be crazy. So I'm out. So 57,000 plus two. Let's see. Where we at? 288. What it says.
So you need 700,000, bro. You need 700. You need 700,000 to hit them.
700,000. So 57,000 plus 288,000.
And you have how many months left? You have this month, this September, right? October, November, December, January. You have 4 months left.
28.
So you need about 175 grand a month to hit a million this year.
It's 345 both of my Stripe accounts, and then I believe I made $40,000 in my other PayPal account. So I'm at 385.
Okay, so base 385. Let's do a million subtract. So your goal this year is a million, right?
Correct.
So 385. So you need 615,000 left. Divide that by 4 months. So you need about 153,000 a month.
Only 153?
Yeah, you need 153,000 a month.
I did 150 last month. But guys, like I would have never thought that doing $150,000 consistently and even hitting $1 million this year was possible until I met with Boniface. Like I'm not even trying to like big him up or anything like that. It's just the truth, because if I just look at my trend this year, just with my digital products, I was doing like 10, 20 at the beginning. I was doing like 10 grand. And then I invested, I met somebody. And then I think January I did 10 grand. February I did like around 8 to 10 grand. March I did 15. April I did 19. May I did 30. June I did 47. July I did 45. June I actually did 50 grand in June, because I'm not accounting from my other Stripe account. Then I did another 44K in June, and then I made some changes to my payment process, not my payment process, but my upsell. Instead of trying to get money on the front end, I was doing a downsell to get recurring revenue. So I did 32 in August, and then in September I did 103.
Nice.
Right? Then that huge jump from what I would say from that 30 or that 50 to 30 to 100K came after I met Boniface. And then, you know what? Let me see if I can show you. Let me see if I can show you guys. Like I'm gonna pull up my Stripe account real quick and just show people the spike in sales. Let me see if I can do. See, See, we just started a new quarter today, so it's kind of hard to show you guys like the last. Oh, I could do last 4 weeks. So look at this, guys. Look at this. So can you see it, Boniface?
Yeah, come towards. So go. So no. Go up. Go up. Go on
Right.
the
Here we
left.
go.
Go up. Go up. Go up. Go up. Right there. So 100 grand. You did that from September. You did 100 grand from September 4th to October
1035.
1st.
Yeah, but look at the spike though. Look at the spike. You see the spike?
Yeah,
Like,
it
look
was. Yep.
you know what? Can I share my screen?
Yeah. Yeah. You can share your screen actually.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can do that. Maybe easier to do it that way. All right, guys. Let me try to look at all my stuff. I'm gonna try to only share a certain thing. Stripe. Okay, give me 1 minute. But just so you guys are clear, like, are we still recording?
Yeah, we're still recording. Go ahead. You can show them.
Okay, all right. How do I do this? Oh, here we go. Share screen. And just so we're clear, guys, like I've been investing in my education all year, and then not being afraid to invest in advertising either. Like I've been increasing my ad spend and all that stuff as well. So I think that kind of goes hand in hand. But this is today, right now. And then what I was trying to show you guys was if we just look at the last 4 weeks, and we just look at just the sales. Like I met Bonnie on September 7th, right?
Yeah, you met me on the. No, you met me on the. It was the day before because you didn't hit 1,000 that day. You was at like
It
800.
was
When you came with me, you
was it
was at like 800, 400, around something like that.
and then my ad spend was actually that same ad set because I reached the level of my. I didn't think to do multiple. I didn't think to do all the things that you broke down about scaling. So the ad set that I was running was actually a profitable ad set that was dying, and the audience was dying as well. You know, but where are we at? I think it was the 7th.
So let's just say the 7th. So
the 7th I made 1,031, and then Boniface showed me some stuff. And look at this, $3,400. That was my first 30. Now, guys, I had a $4,300 day before, but the reason why I had a $4,300 day was because I had a whole bunch of rebills hit at the same time. So my system wasn't doing rebills. So I really can't count that as my best day. So my best day before the rebills was $2,300. After meeting Boniface and making a change, look, guys, 34.75. Then the next day, 61. Look at that, guys. Look at this. This is I met Boniface on Friday. He implemented this stuff. Yo, bro, we about to scale this shit, son. We about to scale this shit to the moon, son. Yo, son, we about to scale this shit. Like, well, I don't know what the fuck Boniface is talking about. Okay, 34. Yo, so we about to scale this shit, son. $6,100 in the first day, right? I mean, the second day. Then 54, right? Then 67. Then 68. I think you guys are starting to get the point here. And again, like this, look at this peak, guys. Look at the peak from here to here. Like literally, that was the 7th, which I think the 7th was on a Friday when I came out to meet with you. And then the 10th, this was the 9th, right? That was the 9th. So this is the 7th. I think I'm beating a dead horse at this point. This is the 7th.
Yeah.
This is the 9th. This is the 7th. This is the 9th. This is the 10th. Right? I'm gonna do it one more time. The 7th, 1,000. My own level of understanding. What I think I know. Bonnie implemented. Show me stuff. More stuff he showed me. More stuff he showed me. And look, guys. And then around this time I started ramping down. There. Then we had to like do some more things. And then we started scaling up again at the end of the month. So guys, and now I'm doing $3,000 in a day is actually. It actually feels funny if I don't make $3,000 in a day. And I actually have
wait until you get to 56,000 a day, bro. You're gonna go crazy if you don't make at least 50,000 a day.
True. I'm looking forward to that. But look, guys, I'm still learning. I'm still a student, and this is my actual Stripe account with my digital product that I shifted everything to.
It don't show today. Move my screen real quick so they can see that's today too. That's how much you're making. Yep, today. Reload the page because some people be thinking stuff like this is a scam.
Okay, so I'm gonna reload the page, guys. So look, guys. This is my Stripe account, right? It's not a scam. We're adding value. We're helping people. We're getting customers, and this is my Stripe account. So it actually went up since we've been talking. So it was at 30. So somebody bought since we've been talking.
Nice.
So let me see right here. I'll show you guys. Yeah. Somebody just took me up on my membership at 2244, which is 2244 is 1044. So somebody literally just bought. Look at this. This has been happening since we've been on the call. Actually, we've been on the call for
about an hour now.
An hour, and look how many people have bought in the last hour. Right, my different programs. Right, this is a recurring membership right here. These are one time. Some of these are one time. Some of these recurring. So guys, this stuff works. Right, this stuff is powerful.
So guys, Kenny, the reason why we got Kenny on this call is he's one of my students. He came through my program just like how all my other students are. We have students in my program who's doing $250,000 a month. We have students who's doing $10,000 a month. We have students who's doing $20,000 a month. It's all based on that person, how much money they have. You know what I mean? And we're gonna teach you how to get money so you can scale up and all of that too. But basically, Kenny's one of my students, and he learned and he implement what I told him what to do. Now he's getting the success.
Right.
So that's really it for the training here, guys. Kenny, do you have any other things to say before we get out of here?
Nah, guys, just take action, guys. Just take action. Don't be afraid to invest in your education. Don't be afraid to do what's required to get yourself to the next level, and then just implement.
Guys, I'm gonna have a link in the description that's gonna literally give you access to my training that you can be able to access to. You can watch the training and show you exactly how to set all this stuff up. And if you want to work with me, schedule a call with me. But don't schedule a call with me if you're not serious, because my team's gonna deny your application.
So my homie, I was at my office and we got the same office. My homie just walked into my office. I think you guys might know who this guy is.
Hey, take action, man. Don't let him come to a sleeper. Come on now. Going right now, it's 10:47. This is working hour. You need to get off this call and go get some money.
And sign up for Boniface's program.
Hey, get my man Boniface's program. He's out here changing the game. Listen, I'm a red. I'm a high level person. I'm still learning from another high level person. This is a high level person. Yeah. What do they call it? What they call it? Greens? No.
Blues?
No. Your association.
Oh, your circle. Your association.
Yes.
You have association. But that's it for this training, guys. Training. That's it for this interview, guys. I'm gonna leave a link in the description. Schedule a call here with us. Watch the training. It's gonna show you exactly how to set all this stuff